Okay. Hi, I'm Advisor Garrett from the April Fire Department Cadet Program. I'm here with two of our cadets to demonstrate proper ways to crawl in a structure fire. Yes, there is a proper way to crawl in a structure fire. It's not really taught in any academy. I was not taught in the academy. It was more based on experience and learning from the old guys at the firehouse. So we're going to demonstrate two ways. I have Cadet Lieutenant Paul Siebert and Cadet Captain Patrick Hurd to demonstrate the improper way and the proper way to crawl in fire. How do you know when to crawl? If you can see your feet, you don't need to crawl. If you can't see your feet or if it's questionable, you should be crawling. Remember, there's high heat up here, no heat, better visibility down here, so that's where we're going to stay. Most of our victims will be found on the ground because they're not going to be able to breathe standing up in the smoke. So we're going to practice good crawling techniques and do a primary search and advance a hose line. So our first demonstration is be by Cadet Lieutenant Paul Siebert, the improper way to crawl. Ready, Paul?
Yeah.
All right, let's do it. All right, so this is the most common way that you find firefighters crawling, especially new firefighters. Hands and knees. This is the way you crawled since you were a baby. And even though most firemen are babies, we don't need to crawl like them. So Paul, if I come over here and I tell you that there's fire above your head, so I'm going to hold out fingers. You tell me how many fingers I have to demonstrate fire. Can you see?
No.
No. I have 3 fingers. You missed it. Failed. So there's strike 1. There's fire above his head. He can't see. How our helmets are designed with the brim to have water come off down our back impedes him looking up because it hits his SCBA and he can't look up. So we have no clue if there's fire, if the smoke above us is lighting up and there's fire above us to cool the atmosphere as we make the hallway or conditions change in a living room or basement, he would have no clue. Our gear is so advanced these days, you can't really feel heat through our hoods and our coats. And we have to be able to see it or hear it, and he can't see it. All right, Paul, now you're crawling along and you encounter a hole in the floor. What's going to happen? Where's your center of gravity?
Forward.
Forward. So what's going to happen? You're going to fall face first. So that's another reason why we don't crawl on our hands and knees, and I can attest to that because that did happen to me. Crawling on my hands and knees, came to a hole in the floor, head first, right through. So, like I said, hands and knees, the way we crawl as babies, not the way we crawl now. Now to demonstrate the proper way to crawl will be Cadet Captain Patrick Hurd. So swap out with Cadet Lieutenant Paul Siebert and let's show everyone the proper way to crawl, Patrick. All right, right away you can see he's completely different. It's more of a modified duck walk. He's going to be back on his right leg, or if you're left leg dominant, you can switch it up, either leg, whichever the firefighter prefers. You can already see he's set back. So there's fire up here. Same hand position. How many fingers, Patrick?
2.
2. He can see my fingers. So he would be able to see right away if conditions change and that smoke lit up to fire, that what can you do? You can just stop where you're at, lean back with your hose, extend it out there, and extinguish the fire or attempt to extinguish the fire. Now you're crawling along and you encounter a hole in the floor. Paul already fell through that hole. What about you? Are you going to fall through?
Nope.
No. Again, your center of gravity is back. Your front leg might fall through, but you will recognize that. Lean back and self-extricate out of that hazard and without causing yourself more trauma. So you can see the 2 different ways of crawling. One is definitely better than the other. So I would 100% advocate for training on the modified duck crawl as you saw Captain Hurd do, and add that to your training reservoir. Thank you for watching our training video. Look for more in the next couple weeks.